This is the second half of episode 1 of Extreme Marketing Makeover, and we are here with Chuck and Zach from Quad B. Quad B is your web agency, and we are obviously shooting this episode to document part of our process. Chuck and Zach have recently completed all of their homework, so we are going to go over it with them and then talk to them about how we're going to implement this all and get them tons of business. Okay.
All right. Homework was much more complete this time.
Yes.
Yes, it was very good. And I came away with several things from it. Number one, still focusing where you were originally, which is these getting in front of the smaller businesses. But not calling them small businesses per se, but the businesses that are, I like growth businesses more than anything, but the businesses that's your focus. And I like the fact that when you did in your ideal client, the ones that have one or two decision makers. Mm-hmm. Really, you're not going for the committee groups, you're going for ideally get a one-to-one.
You get one meeting and the guy can make a decision or woman can make a decision right there, yes or no, here's your check, let's go.
Yeah, not that it works that way.
Right,
no.
but you say it's like, I gotta go talk to my wife, my accountant,
right.
Theoretically they have the authority to do that.
That's right, yeah.
But I really like the fact that you narrowed it down that much to where you're going. The other part, which was in the original homework also, was talking about the what differentiates you. And we got more, I think, into this, the whole, the services that you provide and the feel. And you kept coming back to things like the look and the feel and the credibility that you will provide for them. And I kept writing down, grow your business, turning visitors into customers, and all of that. The ideal client's concern of, where's my next client coming from? And not enough time in the day. And that's such a huge thing for you guys to be able to provide that. We are your it's a 24-hour day, you're the 25th hour. Mm-hmm. You're that sort of thing. And go from there. Grow with them seems to be something that we can pitch with you guys very much. It's that you create something that's going to work for them right now.
But it's scalable.
It's a work in progress. And whatever you need now, we're there. But 6 months from now, a year from now, you're going to be bigger, and you're going to need a bigger website. And so that comes back to not the small business thing, but growth business. Mm-hmm. And I think there's something to be played with there, is that we're the growth business. We're going to help you grow your business.
Instead of the search engine, the growth engine for your business.
Yeah. Growth engine.
Yeah,
I like that.
Growth engine. I like that too.
Growth engine
Yeah.
instead of search engine. In the mistakes that you came up with, the 7 mistakes that people, mm-hmm. You do when they pick a web agency, I think we can broaden that out a little bit more, mm-hmm. and it's more like the 7 mistakes that will kill your business's website before you even start it, before you even launch it, or things like that, and it can really be beneficial.
And then we'd like to take the questions, the should ask question, your mom can't use you, she's going someplace else, mm-hmm. What do you want to arm her with so she doesn't get ripped off? And use those as kind of like a worksheet in the 7 mistakes, going, make sure you ask these questions of any firm you are considering. Mm-hmm. Here are our answers, make sure they measure up so you don't end up in the wrong place. Here's how to differentiate the best from the rest.
Mm-hmm. Best from the rest. See, he's on fire today.
All the time.
And then you also had alternate questions. The ones that if we'd like to replace any of the first one, mm-hmm. don't have to replace them. We can just add them to the list.
Okay.
Because the bells and whistles thing and things like that, those are cool. Those are questions that people would want answers to.
Okay.
So my suggestion would be those alternative questions, let's make them supplemental questions.
Okay.
And give me some more answers to them.
Okay.
Because I like them.
You can never have too much content.
Yeah. And it came back to one of the things that was in there was the why shouldn't I do it myself? Well, hello. Yeah. I mean that was, that's all throughout this is you can't do this yourself. You cannot do this yourself. So
we should also, do you have some examples we could use of people who came to, here's the before, my 11-year-old did it, and this is what I've got, versus we took over, we built it for them, and here's the professional presence they now have.
Well, one of their testimonials was someone who, not with the nephew,
Right.
but did 2 other companies and said, that didn't work with the other companies.
Yeah.
But I like the idea too of I tried it myself. I tried it with my nephew. I did the,
So I think that's a real danger area for people. The worst thing they could do is have something that's just barely good enough,
Yeah.
but not good enough. I always go back to the leftovers in the refrigerator, and you've heard me say about that.
I haven't.
No? Well, I think it's a lot like that. Like, you can have something, you have stuff in your refrigerator at home that's not good enough to eat because it's been in there too long, but it's still not old bad enough to throw out.
Yes.
Well, that's how it is with these do-it-yourself things a lot, or my neighbor did it, or I already got X amount in it and I don't want to throw it away, but it really isn't enough to do you any good either.
yeah.
So it's basically useless, but we're not ready to throw it out yet. I don't know if that's a good analogy.
Is
but-
your website ready to be thrown? Do you need to throw out your website?
Yeah.
But it's a-
Could there be a quiz that they could take to determine whether or not it tells them, you know what, let's build them an automated quiz in Infusion where they go answer these 6 questions and then it says, congratulations, your website is good, congratulations, you need a new one, congratulations, you better throw it out today. And then emails you all of their data, all of their answers, so that when you have a conversation with them, you know exactly what their pain points are.
Right.
So what would be the question, some of the questions that would trigger you need to throw out your website? I mean, like, was it last updated in 1999? Does it have your social media presence integrated? Is it interactive? Can they do something on it besides it just laying there?
Does it have any call to action about
Does it have a call to action? Is there any way to capture your visitors' contact information and convert them into customers?
Yeah.
Do you have any way of knowing who was on your website?
You know, sometimes the website owner just needs to stop and try to view it as if they were an outsider. And are there elements in that website that are there because their friend designed this logo, and they're not excited about it, but they did it. And so,
Right, you got to use it because you have it.
Yeah, right.
Step back and look at it as
Fresh eyes.
Look at it as an insider. As
Outsider.
an
Yep.
Okay.
If your website were your physical location, are you closed for business?
That's
Are,
right.
are people getting turned away before they even get to the door?
Yeah, it's the lawn
Would you
mower.
drive by or would you pull in?
Right. Does it have curb appeal? Curb appeal for
Does
your
your
website.
website have curb appeal?
Well, that's really what it is.
Yeah.
People, a lot of the stuff you can equate to brick and mortar type
Mhm.
thing, and then they relate to it better if they think of it that way.
Okay.
At least people that think they don't, people don't judge by appearance. Everybody
Absolutely
does.
they do.
It's just human nature, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just
Mhm.
normal.
One of the things that we talked about when I came over and met with you guys is to take advantage of Mr. Searsucker here,
Yes.
Mr. Showbiz, and create a segment for your website, Zach in the Box.
Video channel.
Yes.
We shoot him
Zach in the
here.
box.
You're going to give us a box that fits him with a giant Quad B logo on it.
Yes.
And we're going to have a fake crank on the side. And you're going to stand there and pretend question's going to come in. You're going to pretend to crank it up. The music, Call Me Maybe, your version is going to play when he cranks it. And then you're going to jump out of the box and answer the question.
I can picture that. That would be cool.
We'll
That'll
make you
be fun.
freaking go viral.
Yes.
That'll be fun.
And
People will stop you in the street.
go, you're Zach in the Box. And there's also we can do. It doesn't have to just be limited production too, because it can be you starting to answer a question, pop in a couple screenshots of stuff that you're actually talking about.
Right.
Hey, take a look at this. Woo, screenshot slides in over here
Right.
for a second, and you or even in a little interaction with you, picking
Or a doodle or something.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it would be a fun thing with 2 benefits. User benefit, client benefit
They learn
information.
stuff.
They'll learn from it,
And they'll learn why they need to hire you to do
brand
it.
reinforcement. 2 things. We're going to answer your questions. We're going to give you the information you need,
Right.
but we're going to give you the reason why we're your answers. We are the answers that you need.
Yep.
And what a good like social media post they could make.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good idea. That's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
Yeah, I thought you would be.
Yeah.
So we're going to take your homework. Your homework is going to turn into the business owners, like the consumer awareness guide to picking a web agency. Except it'll be like the business owner's guide to picking a web agency. And that'll be an ebook. If you want to pay to physically print them down, you can. But you'll have you'll have the ebook as a PDF instant download, which will have lead capture and automated follow-up on your website where people go sign up for it and then you get notified. It'll have an email sequence that automatically follows up with them. Hey, on page 2, you learned about mistake number 1. Are you making this mistake with your website? Blah, 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 blah. And dripping on them, ultimately getting them to call you for a consultation. I assume that's the desired end result. You want them in your office so you can say, here's why your website sucks and why you need to hire us.
Right.
Or your website
We need to come up with a name for that consult. But
Yes, you need a sexy name
it
for the
always has to
console.
have a sexy name.
Yeah.
And that's not a problem.
Growth engine analysis or something.
Yeah. I like
Growth engine audit. How much growth is your website providing your business? We'll tell you, we'll go on Google Analytics and say you got 12 visitors last month and if your average client is worth this and you missed out on this month and here's how many in AdWords, in the Google traffic tool, there were 300 searches, you got 12 of them, so you missed out on 280 times $1,000, you missed out 280 grand in revenue last month. I think $5,000 for your website is a drop in the bucket compared to the 280 you missed.
Yeah.
Right.
Now all of a sudden you're their new best friend because you're selling money at a discount.
You're dealing with smaller companies, and they're going to have the "Can I really afford to do this?" question.
And this is the
And
you
this-
can't afford not
this is-
to.
Exactly.
Right.
This our whole push behind this is that it's not whether you can afford it. It's can you afford not? To. You cannot afford
Not
to
to.
not do this.
Right.
This
A
is
lot-
something you
A lot
have
of
to do.
business owners, they know they need to do this, and they should know they need to do it right.
Right.
And even if they could eventually figure it out, the typical small business owner is a whole lot better off putting his time and effort toward what he knows best, and that's growing his own
And
business.
serving his customers.
Yeah,
Right.
because that time away from taking care of his customers and looking for his next customer
That's
Right.
right.
is way more important for
Yeah,
him.
absolutely.
So then that ebook gets advertised on social media, gets advertised email, gets advertised on print, and then every video. So we're going to do a video shoot of all of the questions and answers, in addition to the Zach in the Box. And our video distribution platform will put every one of those videos on 20 page rank 1 sites linking back to yours. So this is an example of a direct mail. He's selling that awareness guide.
We can make it up nice and have it match all the marketing that we
Yes,
have.
they are.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So then that will get you rapid traffic. Every piece of the consumer awareness guide then turns into an article that gets, we automatically blast those out to all the article sharing sites. We do PR on the fact that you've released this guide and you're saving small business in Buffalo, and get you the whole do-gooder story. You know, we're out to save them from those marketing vulture bastards who are charging them $50,000 for nothing or building them sites that don't work. And then it's all like little strands of a spider web driving people to get caught by the spider in the middle, which is the lead capture and automated follow-up that ultimately gets them in your office to write you a check.
Okay.
So that's where we're going with this.
Awesome.
You guys are cool with that?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Much better job this time around.
So what we
Much
need to
better
do,
job.
Bruce is
I
going to
need-
coordinate with you on like the missing questions and
Yeah.
fine-tuning some of the expanded answers, and then I'd love to get you in for your first video shoot the next week or two. And then let's start thinking about the Zach in the Box questions. The first few should be questions you want to answer because they're specifically skewed towards getting you what you want.
Right.
And then you could start putting out on social media, hey, we're going to be starting the Zach in the Box show. What's your question? You know, web development or whatever. So what's your question for Zach? What's a question you always wanted to know about web development but were afraid to ask? Type of stuff. And get people to start submitting the questions so then they have to tune into the show to watch.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. We have work to do.
Yes, but we're almost there. See you next couple of weeks.
Alright.
Good.
How many of the videos will we shoot in the first shoot?
I'd love to knock off 10 or 20 of them, but again, each one's like 2 to 3 minutes. So, we do a half-day video shoot. I would think we could at least knock off. I mean, we did one for a storage facility that we mentioned earlier in the episode, and we did one video shoot with them and got 23,
Nice.
which is enough content for a while. And then you'll just keep doing more because you'll keep we'll stockpile all the questions, and then maybe once a month or something, we go shoot the next 6 episodes of Zach in the Box.
Right.
And the video shoot can be done a couple different ways. I found it works better with you guys if we feed you the question and you talk, as opposed to writing a script.
I mean, we've got a
Trying to read it off the
teleprompter,
prompter.
but
You can do that, but
It's
it
an
seems
acquired
a lot.
talent.
It seems more natural to do it that way, and I'm not worried about you guys talking.
We have people who can't
Believe
talk,
me,
so-
Talking
I'm-
about Zach right now.
Believe me, I'm not worried
I'm
about
shy.
either of you talking. Not at all. It doesn't worry me in the least. So what we can do
I find
is,
that his stuff, that when he's talking just about stuff, he gets far more passionate about it.
yeah. So what we can do is, let's say we come in with 15 topics. Because as much as I'd like to crank out 20, 25, you do tend to lose steam a little bit sometimes.
Yeah.
So, but if we
Hey, I've heard about this Google Penguin Panda stuff. What is that all about? Boom, Zach on a rant.
all right,
Good?
cool.
Okay.
We're good?
Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right, well, stay tuned until when we feature them in the Marketing Makeover episode, where you actually see all of the stuff, the Zach in the Box, everything we've developed for them, and watch it work and get them lots of business.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah. Okay,
Thank you.
you are welcome.